nice drumming from that forest over there. Yeah, sounds like a great spotted woodpecker. Den er ook pas mayor. And as you can see, there's a mist today. And the funny thing is, there's actually sun, you know? So if it wouldn't be for the mist, we would have a sun. But still no sun, you know? Still, what is it? It's 11th day in a row without sun. Yeah, I believe maybe today, later on, it will get sunny. But it's definitely not going to be captured on a video. See that sun there? Hidden behind the clouds and the mist. Yeah. So we would actually have a sunny morning today, but yeah, the mist covered it. But it's beautiful. I love mist. It's very mysterious and it has its own charm. Yeah. So the doe is still here. Second doe is still here as well. Yeah. There's clearly a lot of, you know, a lot of... Ooh, heard that? That was awesome. That was, and that too? Hear that? So the first thing we heard... Wow, okay. Wow. Now those are buzzards. I'm not sure if you can see them, but there's at least two of them. One just landed over there on the tree. I wish, I don't know. Yeah, it's like right over there. I'm probably not visible on the camera. But those are beautiful, classic buzzard calls, you know. It was very loud. Could have been a jay, you know, it could have been. But those were pretty nicely visible buzzards. Quite big birds. So those were buzzards, but the first thing we heard over that we heard there, that longer, sort of more pronounced call, was a green woodpecker. Was a green woodpecker. Picus viridis. Hold on, I'm gonna give Drake a treat. Good boy. That was Picus viridis, green woodpecker. And it's a beautiful, beautiful bird. Sort of like green or like green with hints of yellow. Especially on the back, it's like a green that gradually comes or gradually transforms into a bit of like yellowish color, you know, and it's very bright. You can see it from afar. So it's beautiful, beautiful, colorful bird, with also hints of red on the head. And it's a woodpecker that has an incredibly long tongue. Like if you Google green woodpecker tongue, it's crazy. It's insane how long it is, you know. And it goes all the way, like, you know, of course through the beak. It goes underneath the skull, you know, and maybe I'm gonna post a picture in the video, you know, like just you can see, so you don't have to Google it. But it goes beneath the skull, like behind the skull, in the back of the skull, and over the whole skull, over, and it connects at the base of the beak, you know, with like two like connective tissues. So it goes all around the skull, you know. It's very, very, very interesting anatomically, you know. And it's to accommodate this incredible length, you know, so it can retract easily and be hidden in the beak, but also at the green woodpecker's whim, it can extend to absolutely insane lengths. So that's why it has this interesting, very specific anatomy, so that it can actually do that, you know. And look at that, we're getting a bit of sun. That is just incredible. Wow, even through the mist, there's a bit of sun. That feels good, you know, like, because every single morning it was gray and dark and gloomy, and this is very, very, very nice. Yeah, it's waiting for this moment. So it has this incredible anatomy to accommodate this incredibly long tongue. And the tip of the tongue it's tipped with sort of a shape and a hardened material that looks like a bit of it looks like a harpoon, like a small harpoon. Very sharp, very hard, you know. And the reason for that is that green woodpecker is a specialist on ants, you know. It specializes on ants, and it feeds on ants and anthills, you know. And so in a way it's like a you know, it's a sort of an adaptation that for instance anteater has, you know, incredibly long tongue, specializes on ants. So this is kind of similar, but you know, anteater, you know, went through, or like chose a strategy of a sticky tongue where the ants stick to the tongue, whereas green woodpecker went with a strategy of like harpooning and, you know, you know, spiking through the ants and like putting them like on a spit, you know, on a spit when you want to roast some meat, you know, when you want to make like a what do you call it, you know, what do you call it? Well, imagine like a kebab, you know, or something. So you're putting it on a spit, you know, the meat. So this is kind of how it works, you know, their tongue. And it's a woodpecker that spends a lot of time on the ground, unlike other woodpeckers that you can, you know, usually or very often see on trees and tree stumps and so on and so forth. Look at that, beautiful. Love it. So it spends a lot of time on the ground exactly for that reason. So whenever you hear or see woodpecker, you know, usually look somewhere closer to the ground, because that's where green woodpeckers usually are, foraging for food and trying to find an anthill or, you know, ant's nest somewhere in the ground. It's a really good digger too, so they can dig up, you know, the soil and really, you know, find the sort of core of the anthill or the core of the nest, so they can eat the larvae, they can eat the eggs and, you know, the ants and so on. So that was a green woodpecker. Yeah, it was very, very nice, pronounced and specific call of theirs. And you know, one pretty cool sort of mark that tells you, oh, there's a green woodpecker nearby. So one, like I would say a track or a sign that you can say, oh, there's a green woodpecker in this area or in this territory, is that when you see an anthill and it has I'm definitely sure we're gonna come across it at some point. I'm gonna show you how it looks like. But when you have an anthill, and actually it is, you can see like a cavity in the base of the anthill that has been dug out. Kind of looks like there was a dog that kind of dug a little bit through the anthill, you know. Although I think a dog would make much greater damage to an anthill. So this is kind of like imagine like a chihuahua, you know, they would try to undig a little bit of the anthill. So if you see that, that was a green woodpecker. And it happens especially in the winter when their food might be scarce. And the anthill, the ants, they retreat back into the anthill inside as deep as they can, so they're protected and they can hibernate there, you know, with the queen and so on and so forth. So the green woodpecker is trying. Wow, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Damn, love it. Man, I miss the sun. That is so beautiful. And with the mist, it's got an extra sort of oomph, you know. It's like, wow, very poetic. You can see the threads of sunlight coming through the trees. Very beautiful. So it happens usually in the winter when the food is scarce for green woodpeckers, and the ants are sort of retreated into and hidden inside the anthill in its core. So the green woodpecker comes and tries to dig them out, you know, tries to find them and munch on them, so then they don't starve. So that's one of the like cool sort of tracks or signs of a presence of a woodpecker that you can see pretty commonly. Actually, if you have a forest in your area, there's a lot of anthills, the big ones, which are, you know, made of fir needles and pine needles, you know. Then in the winter, if you have a green woodpecker living in there, you know, if you're in that part of the world where green woodpeckers live, you're gonna see it for sure, you know. I remember there was this area, like vast forests, that used to be a military area, you know, restricted military area back in the days, you know, in the Second World War and after the Second World War, and they actually opened it quite recently to public. Wow, look at that. Hold on, let me do a little bit of a cinematic shot here. Hold on. So, let's go. How cool is that? Damn, that's beautiful. Yeah. All right. A bit of a cinematic bonus, I would say. So in that area that I was just talking about, the one that used to be a military area, now it's reopened to public. There is a huge amount of anthills, you know, like insanely huge ones too, you know. They go sometimes up to my chest, you know, how big they are. And when you walk there in the winter, every single one of them, like seriously, every single one of them has that hole at the base of the anthill, you know. So yeah, that was green woodpecker. It was pretty cool. And again, unexpected encounter. That is really what's lovely about. Hold on, let me look back at the sun a little bit. Oh man. Beautiful, truly. That's what I love about, walking in the woods and in nature, is that, you can take the same route every single day, and you see we're taking pretty much the same one. We're like swapping it, here and there, but it's one season, we still have winter, right? We're walking the same route or same routes every day, and there is still something new. Weather is different. You encounter different things, different animals, different situations, and it's just winter, and it's been like a bit over a week, like week and a half. So imagine all those things that you see throughout the year, when the seasons change, and winter goes to spring, and then to autumn, then to summer, and then to autumn, It's amazing, really, it is amazing. And I'm glad I made the decision to get the GoPro camera and capture it in this sort of, walking diary fashion. But yeah, this was a very nice walk. So yeah, probably there's going to be sun today. It's going to be, or it doesn't have to be. Sometimes there is sun in the morning, first couple of hours, and then it just gets overcast, and there's clouds and there's no sun anymore. Very often the case. Although in the past, 2 weeks almost, it's been gloomy and dark every single morning. So who knows, maybe today it's gonna be sunny. Maybe. We'll see. But the moment of a beautiful, clear sunrise will come. I'm pretty sure. Maybe not tomorrow or next week, but it's gonna come. Well, hopefully next week. I'm hoping for next week to be sunny again. But we'll see. All right, I'm signing off.